The city of Jerusalem breathes with history. Its ancient stones have felt the tread of kings and prophets. Kings' prophets. They have witnessed the rise and fall of great empires. Every corner holds a story. Every alleyway whispers secrets of the past. It is a place where faith is etched into the very fabric of life. People from all walks of life move through its bustling streets. Merchants call out their wares in the crowded markets. Children laugh and play in the sun-drenched courtyards. The air itself seems to hum with a unique energy, a blend of the sacred and the everyday. It is a city alive with sound and movement, a constant flow of humanity. Imagine yourself walking through these streets. The sun beats down, warming the pale limestone walls of the buildings. The smell of spices, baking bread, and livestock fills the air. Baking bread, livestock fills the air. You hear a dozen different conversations at once, a tapestry of voices woven together. You pass by the Grand Temple, its magnificent structure reaching towards the heavens. This is the heart of Jewish life, a place of prayer and pilgrimage. For centuries, people have come here seeking answers. Connection, guidance, a touch of the divine. Jerusalem is more than just a place on a map. It is a destination for the soul. In this city of deep-rooted traditions, whispers of something new have begun to circulate. Stories are being told, passed from one person to another in hushed tones. Man from Nazareth, carpenter's son named Jesus. These stories are not of buildings or battles, but of incredible acts. Water turned into wine, sick bodies made whole, storms calmed with a single command. Each tale is more astonishing than the last, spreading like wildfire through the populace. People are intrigued, and a sense of anticipation hangs in the air, a feeling that the world is on the brink of something momentous. The religious leaders, the guardians of tradition, watch with cautious eyes. They listen to the stories and wonder about this man who commands such attention. Is he a prophet sent from God? Or is he a threat to the established order they so carefully maintain? The common people, however, are filled with a different emotion: hope, change, healing, a better life. The city of Jerusalem, a place of ancient echoes, is now alive with the expectation of a miracle that could change everything. Amidst the chaos and clamor of the city, one figure moves with a quiet purpose. This is Jesus of Nazareth. He does not wear the fine robes of a king or the elaborate garments of a high priest. His appearance is simple, that of an ordinary man. Yet there is something extraordinary about his presence. When he speaks, his voice carries a unique authority, a blend of gentleness and strength that commands attention. People are drawn to him, not by force or by threat, but by an undeniable sense of peace and wisdom that seems to emanate from him. He has journeyed through the towns and villages of Galilee, and his reputation has preceded him to the great city. The stories of his deeds are on everyone's lips. People say he has given hearing to the deaf and a voice to the mute. They whisper that he has cleansed lepers, making them pure and whole once more. His teachings are just as powerful as his miracles. He speaks of love, forgiveness, and a kingdom not of this world. His words offer a profound sense of hope to those who feel lost and forgotten. The crowds that follow him are a testament to his impact. They are a diverse mix of society: fishermen, farmers, merchants, tax collectors, the healthy, the sick. They press in around him, eager to hear his words, to feel his touch, to simply be in his presence. There is a tangible sense of expectation whenever he appears. People believe that with him, the impossible becomes possible. In a world filled with hardship and uncertainty, Jesus represents a beacon of divine light. He sees the value in every person, especially those who have been overlooked or cast aside by society. His focus is on the marginalized, the poor, the suffering. It is this profound empathy that sets him apart. As he makes his way through the streets of Jerusalem, everyone watches. They wonder what he will do next. They wonder whose life will be forever changed by his passing. On the outskirts of the city's main thoroughfares, away from the central bustle, sits a man enveloped in darkness. He has been blind from the day he was born. His world is not one of colors, shapes, or the faces of loved ones. It is a world of sounds, smells, and textures. He can tell the time of day by the changing patterns of footsteps on the stone-paved ground. His days are a monotonous cycle of dependence and waiting. He sits by the roadside, a familiar fixture to those who pass by. His hand is outstretched, his voice a quiet plea for alms. For him, Survival depends on the kindness of strangers. Each clink of a coin in his cup is a small victory, a means to get through another day. In his society, his blindness is seen by many not just as a physical ailment, but as a mark of sin. People speculate about its cause. Was it his own sin or the sin of his parents? He is an outcast, defined by his disability and the theological questions it raises for others. Despite his circumstances, a flicker of hope remains within him. Like everyone else, he has heard the stories. He has listened intently as passers-by discuss the miracles of the man from Nazareth. He has heard tales of lame men walking and sick children restored to health. These stories are more than just interesting gossip to him. They are a lifeline. They plant a seed of possibility in the barren ground of his despair. He dares to wonder, to dream. Could this healer, this man of miracles, do something for him? And so he sits and listens. He strains to pick out any news, any mention of Jesus' whereabouts. He listens for the approach of a crowd, for the stir of excitement that might signal the arrival of the one man who could change his world forever. His entire being is focused on this one desperate hope. The murmur of the approaching crowd grows louder. For the man born blind, it is a familiar symphony of shuffling feet and overlapping conversations. But today, something is different. He can sense the shift in the atmosphere, a current of anticipation running through the people. This is the sound he has been waiting for, the sound of hope drawing near. Jesus and his disciples walk at the heart of this moving throng. They navigate the narrow street, the people parting before them like water. As they move through the city, every step is a lesson. Today's lesson is waiting just ahead, sitting by the dusty roadside. The two worlds are now just feet apart, the world of the blind man and the world of Jesus. Suddenly Jesus stops. The entire procession comes to a halt behind him. Why has he stopped here? There is nothing remarkable about this dusty stretch of road. Nothing but a common beggar sitting in the dirt. But Jesus sees what others overlook. He sees not just a blind man asking for money, but a human soul yearning for wholeness. The blind man cannot see this look, but he can feel the sudden stillness, the abrupt silence that has fallen over the crowd around him. He knows, instinctively, that he has been noticed. As the crowd waits in hushed anticipation, it is not Jesus who breaks the silence. It is actually one of his disciples.
Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
The question hangs in the air, heavy with the common belief of the time. It reflects a worldview where suffering is a direct consequence of sin. The blind man hears the question clearly. For his entire life, he has been the subject of such debates. He has felt the weight of people's judgments. But Jesus' response will shatter their assumptions. He is about to shift their entire perspective. The disciples seek a cause in the past, a sin to be punished. Jesus will show them a purpose in the present, an opportunity for God's glory to be revealed.
It was not that this man sinned or his parents.
With one sentence, Jesus reframes everything. The man's blindness is not a punishment, not a sign of divine disfavor,
but that the works of God might be displayed in him.
This is a revolutionary idea, not a tragedy to explain, but a stage to be used. Then Jesus does the unexpected. He stoops down. The crowd watches in stunned silence. What is he doing? He spits on the dusty ground. He mixes saliva with the dirt, forming a small bit of clay. This is not a conventional method of healing. It is a simple, earthy, profoundly human act. He is preparing his remedy, a medicine made from the very dust of the earth. The crowd is utterly captivated by the strange sight before them. Jesus, the renowned teacher and miracle worker, is kneeling in the dirt. The saliva, coming from Jesus himself, represents his life-giving power. The dust represents humanity's humble origins. For the blind man, this moment is a whirlwind of sensory information. He is no longer just a beggar on the roadside. He is the center of an event so strange and significant that it has brought the entire street to a standstill. Jesus then rises from his kneeling position. He moves toward the blind man, the small bit of mud held gently in his hand. The crowd holds its collective breath, their eyes wide with a mixture of confusion and awe. The stage is set for the next step in this unbelievable process of transformation. With the utmost gentleness, Jesus reaches out his hand. The blind man, feeling the movement of air and sensing the healer's approach, does not flinch. Jesus' fingers, carrying the damp clay, make contact with the man's face. The touch is soft, a stark contrast to the rough texture of the mud. Jesus then carefully anoints the man's eyes with the clay. He spreads the mud over the eyelids that have never opened to the light of day. He is being marked, sealed by the healer's hand. The crowd watches this anointing in absolute silence. The mud is now in place. The man's face is a mask of earth, his eyes completely covered. The anointing is complete, but the healing is not. The second part will require an act of faith and obedience from the man himself, a journey he must take on his own.
Go wash in the pool of Siloam.
The instruction is simple and direct. He requires the man to participate in his own miracle. This is a test of his fledgling faith. The command presents a significant challenge. The pool of Siloam is not right next to them. The man must navigate the familiar, yet now more difficult, streets of Jerusalem. He could have refused. He could have questioned the strange instructions, but the man does not hesitate. He chooses to obey. And so, the journey begins. The man, still blind, pushes himself up from the ground where he has sat for so long. He is walking away from the healer, but he is walking towards his healing. The blind man takes his first steps. He is no longer a passive beggar waiting for charity. He is an active participant in his own destiny. He uses his staff, tapping it on the stone-paved street. His other senses are on high alert. Every obstacle is a test of his resolve. He is literally walking blind, yet he moves with a determination that he has never known before. The name of the pool, Siloam, means sent. The man is not just going to a place to wash, he is living out a metaphor. Finally, he hears it. The gentle sound of water, the splashing, and the voices of people gathering at the pool. He has arrived. He kneels down, his hands trembling slightly as he reaches for the cool water. The world is about to change. He kneels at the edge of the pool of Siloam. The journey is complete, but the final, most crucial step remains. He brings the water to his eyes, splashing it against the dried clay. The mud begins to dissolve, running in brown rivulets down his cheeks. For a moment, there is nothing but water and the familiar darkness he has always known. Then, it happens. A blur of light and shadow, undefined shapes, overwhelming, confusing, utterly miraculous. The first thing he truly sees is his own reflection. He stares into the water, the surface now still. His eyes, they are open, they are clear. They are looking back at him. The man born blind is no more. In his place is a man who can see. Slowly, he lifts his head, tearing his gaze away from his reflection. He looks up at the world around him, and his breath catches in his throat. Everything has a color. The water is a shimmering blue-green. The stone steps are a mosaic of tans and grays. The sky above is a brilliant, endless blue. He stands up on shaky legs, turning around in a slow circle, trying to take it all in. He sees the faces of the people around the pool. He looks at his own hands, turning them over and over, flexing his fingers. He sees the lines on his palms, the dirt under his fingernails. He begins his journey back, not as a blind man navigating by memory, but as a sighted man exploring a brand new world. He is a stranger in his own city, seeing for the first time the place he has lived his entire life. He is not just healed, he has been completely and utterly transformed. As the man makes his way back towards the place where he met Jesus, he begins to attract attention. People who have known him for years now stop and stare in disbelief.
Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?
It looks like him, but how can it be? The beggar was born blind.
How then were your eyes opened?
He tells them the story, his words tumbling out with excitement. He recounts the encounter with a man named Jesus.
So I went and I washed and I received my sight.
The news of the healing spreads like a shockwave. The miracle doesn't bring joy, it brings division and unease. The Pharisees hear the commotion and intervene, so they summon the man who was healed to cross-examine him. His parents are called in for questioning. They are torn, overjoyed for their son but terrified of the authorities.
We know that this is our son and that he was born blind. But how he now sees, we do not know. Ask him, he is of age.
Their fearful testimony, oddly, strengthens the man's position. The Pharisees are left with the man himself. Undeniable, deeply uncomfortable evidence of a miracle they wish hadn't happened. The Pharisees continue their interrogation. They have already made up their minds about Jesus. He's a sinner, a rule breaker.
Give glory to God. We know that this man is a sinner.
Whether he is a sinner I do not know. One thing I do know, though I was blind, now I see.
This is his truth, an undeniable fact that rebukes their intellectual pride. His transformation is proof enough. The man's transformation is not merely physical. Confronted by the most powerful men in his community, he discovers a new identity. He is a witness.
What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes?
I have told you already, and you would not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you also want to become his disciples?
The healing has done more than open his eyes. It has unshackled his spirit. He is no longer intimidated by their robes, their titles, their threats.
You were born in utter sin, and would you teach us? And they cast him out.
The sentence is brief, but its consequences are devastating. Being cast out of the synagogue was not just a religious punishment, it was social and economic death. The man had just been given the gift of sight and welcomed into a world of light and color, only to be immediately thrown into a new kind of darkness, exile, and loneliness. Yet in this moment of profound loss, he is not truly alone. His journey is not over. A final, crucial encounter awaits. The story of the man born blind, a narrative etched in dust and light, honestly transcends its ancient setting to speak directly to us today. It is a timeless parable about the nature of true sight and the transformative power of faith. We all have areas of blindness in our lives, prejudices, fears, limiting beliefs that prevent us from seeing the world and ourselves with clarity. In our own moments of darkness and despair, this story serves as a beacon. It insists that no situation is beyond the reach of grace. Like the Pharisees, we can become so entrenched in our own systems of belief that we fail to recognize a miracle standing right in front of us. The man did not just receive new eyes, he received a new identity, a new voice, and a new purpose. As we reflect on this incredible event today on this day, May 24th, 2024, we are invited to consider our own potential for change. The story of the blind man is a perpetual invitation to step out of our own shadows, to wash away the mud of our preconceptions in the waters of faith, and to open our eyes to a world reborn in the brilliant, unfading light of divine love and endless possibility.